Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back. Let's get right back into this. The Great and Lovely Descent is the name of this level. So we're gonna walk towards it. We're on like a hill here.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Come on, get in. Alright.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Okay.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Well, I kind of tried to observe it, and then I fell down a lot. So let's keep going, I guess. There's nothing there, nothing there. Looks like there's something here. This is creepy. Creepy poppy music. Okay. Nope, it's an elevator. Okay.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Okay.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Coda really is an interesting character for sure. Whether he be real or not. This game definitely makes you think, even if it's not trying to, I guess. I don't know. Well, no, it is. It's definitely trying to make you think, but I think for different reasons than I'm trying to think of it, you know? I'm trying to think if Coda is even real. But if he is, then, yeah, what is the meaning behind a lot of the stuff that he does, you know? Interesting interpretations that he gives to things.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
It definitely, it feels like we're in some sort of weird space environment, like a spaceship mixed with some land. I don't know. Like the grass area back there was like a garden on the ship. That's what it feels like at the moment. I'm taking a much more literal approach, right? But I don't know. It's interesting, dude. Did you come from up above?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
There are floating color blocks. We'll go prison. Yes. Did you have to get through puzzles with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Wait, I can't remember? I can tell you. I mean, I could tell you. But apparently my character can't, so I guess I don't remember. I can thank Carter. Okay. I guess not. Alright, bye. See you later, you're stuck in here forever, haha! And we're back here again. I've been right here the entire time, I guess, yeah. As you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit back in the black space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Not sure, but if I have any suspicion what you find won't be worth what it takes to get there, you'll have another chance to solve it. It's weird. Alright. Let's go. Next level!
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay. Looks like the floors are covered with like sugar, but now it's like stone. Oh, it's nighttime suddenly. Whoa.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Oh, fade to black. Weird. Alright, so that's interesting. April 2009, so maybe this might go a little slower than I thought. The game is connected to the internet, and as you walk around you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Really? Nice room, not. Okay, can I leave a note? Like E? I don't know.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda.
I would expect as much, but I was just curious.
This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it, and very patient with me.
Holy shit.
And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is gonna happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts, and feelings and beliefs, and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Wait, is this meant to be like a trailer right here? In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer,
but
you will
ironic,
believe Blue Speech Bubbles
in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work.
You know what's weird about this? He's talking about Coda in the past tense. Why is he talking about Coda in the past tense? I know he's telling stories about the past with Coda, but saying that Coda was a lonely man, why? Is he no longer a lonely man? Is he no longer alive? It's interesting. Just something I picked up on.
I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
That's interesting. What the shit is this cat? Wait, I'm sorry. Is it what is... Oh, no, yeah, it is what the shit. Boring. I can assure you, you guarantee that there is an acorn somewhere here in this place and the sailors are looking for it. What the fuck? Oh, look at all this shit, man. Hey guys, just looking for something to talk with. I refuse to believe. But I need to go to the freaking bathroom. I recognize recognize me, please. Is there a way to actually travel the tree? I guess so. There's nothing here, go back. Listen to that guy. A free t-shirt. Need on the side, door while you sew. Nick Games includes door cannot open the door, thanks. Open sesame, door how open. I guess I should have listened to them, but there's a room right here. Someday I'll meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. Well, wait a minute though. Wait a minute. So is because if the curator is saying that he has played his games, that means that they were put up somewhere, right? So they were put up on Steam. So then he's not real then. This is a fake storyline at that point, right? Because I don't think anyone has ever played these kind of games, otherwise why would they put them together? Or did Coda make these games, somehow David discovered him and fell in love with the whole idea of the games? Like, I don't know. I completely missed how I guess I was so distracted I forget the whole how they met type thing, but it was just, to me now that I'm thinking about it, like maybe, I don't know. Alright, new room. See, abstract art over here. I think I'm done. Stop, turn back, proceeding further will only result in misery. I'm just gonna keep going. Whoever made this has issues. Who are all of you? About how this game is pretentious and you all suck. All that art, man. Beautiful. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. Yet more room.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Oh, did I hit it? I thought I hit it. Alright. Oh my god, typewriters. Not the typewriters. There it is, lamppost. What the fuck, man? What was that? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, this game is weird. Alright, continue. Clone Stars died
Okay,
too.
this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just
Weird
spin
one.
its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What furnitures ought to go in the center of this room? How about a TV with surround sound? Let's put a giant picture of a horse. It's not listening to me at all. It's kind of like full ceiling wheel. Let's open this baby up. I see skylight. Let's go. Obviously, it's not gonna come though because that's it. A table. You need a table. You have a table. Yeah. I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. There's a table. Oh my god. Whoa.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Is this like a labyrinth type thing where I have to find a maze
Okay,
there? Oh,
he throws
okay.
it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. This guy's fake. Oh, okay. Okay. This is very strange. Here's another prison.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
There's the lamppost again. What the fuck? It looks like I walk past a house and a tree. And there's a phone booth with a light. And I go inside the phone booth.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
It's like being completely still and wildly emotional at the same time. I feel like different. Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as well. No, I'm really the same person now as I was back then. I guess it does change. You're welcome. I'm glad to make you happy. Never did you enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. Oh god, that's meta. Did I get the call? No, I never got a call. Okay. You can tell me how you feel right now together. Just talk with me. Perfect. Just tell me how you feel right now. Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Go on.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
That's true. Ah, that's interesting.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Alright, my mind's fucking blown. Alright, I'm gonna call it an episode here. My god, dude. Wow. This is really deep. I'm starting to worry that I'm gonna lose some shit though. Like the beginning, like I know he explained like that he was friends with Coda and that he stopped making games after like a 3-year span and everything like that. but like I feel like I'm missing some key parts of it, like, and then like the whole thing of that I basically implemented for myself was the idea of Coda's existence. A lot of philosophical bullshit. That's what I gotta think about that. Alright, see you guys next week for another episode. Bye bye.